watching Numbskull News, and today, gotta talk about Josh Pate. Dropped a little bit of a video talking about a transfer portal and how chaotic it is, how horrible it is, blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna react to it. Look, I watch a little Josh Pate. I don't watch a lot of national stuff, corporate stuff. Try to keep it to more independent guys out there. That's what I do. So I don't have a ton of time for Josh Pate. Every once in a while something comes through my feed on YouTube and I watch it. So here we go.
We got a problem. Transfer portal's a real problem. Well, I know that, Josh. Yeah, but let's tell the truth about it. I just want to kick off the show tonight by vowing to you that we're going to tell the truth about this stuff a little bit more. I feel it our duty, but also it's really easy because it's just commonsensical. I don't know many fans of college sports, just purely fans like we are of college sports that look around and say, oh, everything's fine. Now, you can get into varying degrees of what is and isn't okay and what is and isn't acceptable, and I still love this or I hate this. But
all right, can we get to the point?
I think most of us who just love the game for the game look at college basketball or college football and we say, yeah, players just moving any which way they want whenever they want, probably not a good thing. And previously you've been a little careful, maybe you've been a little hesitant to say that because you're afraid some lawyer or some agent on Twitter, it's always the internet, is going to come and say, can't say that. That means you're anti-player. We're just not going to be scared of that anymore. It's foolishness. You don't need to defend yourself against fools. No.
Who's scared? Give your opinion. This is such a weird, blatant BS argument. Why? Well, we can't say this, we can't say that because we're afraid. A lawyer? I don't know. This is one of the reasons that it just bothers me about Josh Pate. I don't understand what he's talking about here at all. It's ridiculous.
None of us are anti-player. Who in the world's anti-player? Without players, you wouldn't have the game. Without happy players, you wouldn't have the game. So this comes up because recently, what was it, Jesse? It was a couple nights ago. Tom Izzo, head coach at Michigan State, goes off. Not the first coach to espouse displeasure about the current state of affairs. And normally it's the older school coaches doing it. And then anytime someone who's been doing something for a long time complains about the state of that thing, it just means that they're not progressive enough and they're not forward-thinking enough and they're just a curmudgeon and they're stuck in their ways. And it's just people who have largely never accomplished anything in their lives want to label someone who has accomplished something as something pejorative. So Izzo says what he says at his press conference.
That was just a lot of gobbledygook. That's what that was. Sometimes people just like to fill the void of time with more and more words without actually getting to what they're trying to say. College sports has a transfer portal problem. Okay. Please. You said Tom Izzo. Okay. We know who he is. Go.
I'm not going to play it because you can imagine what he said. It's just the transfer portal in college basketball opened in the middle of March Madness. Just insanity.
Agree. A way to fix that is your two revenue-generating sports, football, basketball. They need to have transfer portals tailored to them that take place in the off season. I don't give a damn if it affects class. Who's going to class anyway? And for what? Basket weaving, some made-up title? Give me a break.
Scott Van Pelt took to the airwaves, and he in a way didn't do anything bold because speaking common sense things shouldn't be bold, but yet it is because people have been so hesitant to say what's obvious for a long time. So hats off to Scott Van Pelt, friend of...
What? Who's afraid to... Anybody who's been watching my channel for a good period of time knows I don't care. And he's talking about transfer portal like that takes some kind of bravery. This is bizarro world now.
Friend of Pate State, friend of the university, for saying what needed to be said. I'll echo it on the back end. Here's what Scott Van Pelt said.
This is the lunacy. of what the absence of rules of any kind has created. Opening the portal the week after the round of 32 games is, as J.J. Watt pointed out on Twitter, akin to NFL free agency beginning after Wild Card Weekend. That's a perfect analogy. Anytime this is brought up, people stop listening to what I'm saying and they say, you're anti-player making any money. No, I'm not. I am anti every single player on every single team being a free agent every single year. It does not exist anywhere in professional sports, but it does in big-time college football and college basketball, sports which are fueled by unrivaled passion, and now boosters who can legally funnel that passion directly to players has created an arms race without a governor of any kind. And the number of players who enter the portal, it's a huge number, but it's almost inconsequential because, in a sense, everyone is, because they can be. And they're going to be in the portal again next March. How does that make any sense to anybody?
You could have watched college sports for 50 years or 5 minutes. You know that's common sense.
Okay. Part of what he said is common sense. Like I said, there's no reason for the transfer portal to be open during the NCAA tournament. That's stupid. We can all agree on that. But when we showed the thing of 750 players that entered the portal, okay. Because what was the other extreme? The way it's been for decades and decades and decades. You couldn't get into a portal. You couldn't transfer unless you graduated early. Or you had to sit out a year, which means you had to go to Division II or junior college or whatever. These players have been getting screwed for a long time, and the screwing is over. And now it's the Wild West. Well, that's what you've earned, college sports, because of greedy conferences. Let's just we want to pass the torch or pass the blame to the NCAA. No. It's because of these greedy conferences led by the Blue Bloods. This is what they wanted. This is what they pushed the NCAA to do. And now everyone's kind of reaping what they sowed. Period. And I don't feel bad for anybody. If these players want to leave, they can leave. So yeah, if you're against that, maybe you are anti-player. But who cares? Be anti-player. Shouldn't be, oh, it's scary to talk about this. It's ridiculous.
So it's common sense, yet it's been sort of rare to hear espoused from major platforms, at least that directly. But I'll tell you what's happened.
That's because major platforms are generally ballless, inauthentic, and they cater to their advertisers. And that's it. They don't want to piss off their audience. Whereas us lower forms of life out here, we can kind of say what we want to say. You know. And if we catch hell in the comments, we catch hell in the comments. That's what it is.
The same thing that happened a few years ago, just in another walk of life. There was this accepted thing that was sort of dropped into the ether. And then people were scared to speak out against it, even though everyone kind of looked around and said, this kind of seems stupid, but no one really wanted to speak out against it. And then slowly but surely, everyone realized everyone felt the same way about it. And so they said, okay, we'll speak out about how stupid this is. I look at it, anyone with a functioning brain who doesn't have ulterior motive looks at it and says, this is crazy. This is dumb. And yet nothing's been done about it. And the only reason you've been kind of hesitant, and for the sake of clarity, I've been kind of hesitant to speak out on it in the past. I haven't been lately, but in the past was I felt a little uncomfortable because I knew there were retorts, there were follow-ups, and a lot of it was legal in nature. And I'm not a legal expert. The only bar I was concerned about in my adolescence was handlebars, monkey bars, but certainly not the bar exam. And so it gets a little intimidating because the last thing you want to do.
Horrible, horrible jokes. Dude, you're not Eminem. Stop trying to do wordplay. And what? Is someone going to sue you because of an opinion? Again, I don't. There's a lot of filler here. I apologize.
Want to do publicly is have a lawyer get in your face and drown you in legalese because you don't know how to respond. But that's the thing. It's common sense. Some of this is so commonsensical, you actually don't need a legal background. Now, you could get into the minutia of, well, they're not employees, or, well, they don't have collective bargaining power, and that's why NCAA rules aren't enforceable because they get shot down in courts. You're explaining part of a problem. We're both acknowledging there's a problem. What we have a problem with is the lack of solution in the room. It's not my job to litigate this. It's not your job sitting at home in
It's because the NCAA is also ballless. You know, it's really simple. You have two revenue generating sports, let them have their own transfer portal window outside of the season or postseason. The off season. That's what it's called. It's called the off season. Structure it like that. Super simple. It's still there. It's the windows have moved. And then we're pretty much all good.
Take one has been, don't let the person who drove the car into the ditch be responsible for trying to get the car out of the ditch. That's long been a point of ours on this show. But then point two is,
Well, hold on. That's what you do in real life. You drive your car into a ditch. It's up to you to get it out. Why do we have to have a December portal window? Oh, because of class. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's stupid. Move it till like the end of February. Actually, you know what? Do one portal window. Do it March 1st through June 1st. How's that? That's 3 months of portal window. There's your portal window for the entire year. One window for football only. March 1st through June 1st. College basketball. Oh, let's see. Do it May 1st through July 1st. One portal window, extra long, an extra long window, months long. That's all you need.
who are the detractors? Why in the world would you be worried to speak up about that regardless? The detractors are people with ulterior motives. Believe it or not, I know this is going to come as a shock to a lot of people. There are people who find it in their best interest for college athletics to be chaotic. And those are the kinds of people who speak out. Believe it or not, there are some folks who have thrived in this era. Vast minority of people, mind you, but there is a small but very vocal group of people who have thrived in this era. And so it's in their best interest. They have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo. But they're not you, they're not me, and they...
What is this guy talking about? Who is this cadre of evil people that thrive on college chaos? Maybe it's us YouTubers talking realignment. Is that what he's talking about? I don't... This dude is kind of overrated because I don't understand what the hell he's talking about. He's not making anything clear.
And they don't love this sport or college hoops for the same reason you or I love college football or college basketball, and so piss on them. You shouldn't care what they think. I certainly don't care what they think. I will tell you, again, what our North Star here is. It is what is best for college football. That's our North Star here. And once that is your sort of guiding principle, everything else aligns. Everything downstream of that becomes so much clearer. Players moving around every year at the rate they are is not good for college football. And so whatever the...
Why isn't it good for college football, Josh? See what I'm saying? No, it's not good for the top brands because they can't hoard players. That's what all this is about. Well, sorry to all you Pate fans out there. I know you probably wanted me to react to everything Josh Pate ever's done. But that's what this crap's about. That's the majority of the bitching when it comes to transfer portal. When it comes to coaches, I understand because they constantly have to recruit their players. But damn it, maybe you should have to. Because they've been getting screwed and dicked around for years. Well, I don't like that. You know what? Send someone to recruit someone else's shit. Look, when it comes to media people, all right, most of the media people out there, corporate, national media, these people are elitists. They went to big schools. They're fans of big schools. They don't have any time for Cinderella. They really don't. And several of them will flat out say it and have flat out said it for years. What they want is the top brands to be able to hoard and take all the top players, and those players are just stuck. When Alabama gets a left guard, they keep them for 4 years. Maybe 3 if they go to the NFL. That's allowed. NFL is allowed. But they're not allowed to enter the portal and they go to Oklahoma State. They're not allowed to enter the portal and go to Virginia Tech. They're not allowed to enter the portal and go to Oregon State. You see what I'm saying here? No. These are blue blood people that want to see their schools hoard all the talent, and which has been the case in college football forever. But now things are starting to equalize out. And a big part of that is the transfer portal. It's chaotic. It is not chaotic. It's not. How many hundreds of players every year in the NFL enter free agency? Hundreds. Hundreds. Not all of them, but a lot. Same thing in the NBA. Same thing in the NHL. Same thing in Major League Baseball. Tons of players enter free agency. Some find out that their career's over because no one's picking you up. Sometimes you make a practice squad. Other times you get a contract with another team or the team you were just with. 1,000 things can happen. So yeah, a lot of these players enter the transfer portal. God, 750. When you include all Division 100 and whatever freaking schools, teams, all of them having over 100 players. So when you divide, if you did the math, it's not that many players per team that enter the transfer portal. This is not, it's a non-issue. It's only an issue for people from the big brands when they enter the portal. Because the school or the donors or NIL people, collective people, they've decided to pay this player, this linebacker, this corner, this quarterback, this running back. But you didn't pay the tight end. And he's looking around like, whoa, I'm like the best player on the team. And we've seen that. We've seen teams with the best player on the team, you can argue, is the tight end. So he's one of the best tight ends. And he's like, I'm not getting paid like these other guys are getting paid. But hold on. Texas Tech over here in Lubbock, they got an oil guy who cashed in a shit ton of money. So he donated a shit ton of money to them. Now they're wanting to funnel a shit ton of money to me to go to Texas Tech. So me, I'm here in a blue blood, but you know what? Texas Tech, Big 12. I can get to the NFL from Texas Tech. No problem. And along the way, I can get paid. So there he goes. He enters the portal. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about, people. This whole nonsense about the transfer portal. There are some things that need to be cleaned up. But I'm sorry, every single solitary year, any player who wants to enter that portal and move on should be allowed to. It's right. It brings in just a hint, a whiff, if you will, of parity. Where there in a sport, well, there's never been any. Never. Sure, maybe it was geographical, but we all know every conference had 2, 3, 4 teams that ruled the whole damn thing. And all the people underneath, they were just underneath. They could never equalize anything. They were screwed. Now, all of a sudden, Indiana is a player. Got to the playoffs. Sure, they got stomped in the playoffs, but damn it, they got there, didn't they? I'm just saying, especially with an expanded playoff, Cinderella's in the room. She's got her big fat ass foot in the slipper. She's in the ball. And she doesn't have to go home. The clock doesn't need to strike midnight. But that's what the Josh Pates of the world want. They want that clock to hit midnight. Get back in your damn pumpkin and get back where you belong, Texas Tech. Get back where you belong, Baylor or BYU, Louisville, whoever. Go back to your little clod, your little shithole of a house made of sticks and wood, and we'll be in the palace. That's what it's about. It's not about Josh Pate crapping on players or not taking the player side. Blah, 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 blah. It's elitism. And that sucks. Don't like it. Anyway, thanks for watching this crap. I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.